My name's John Hamilton. I'm 21, and I live in Lancaster. I look at the dog shelter. Well, in the morning we had a meeting, and then they tell you what to do. I open all windows up. I get the boards disinfected. I give dogs water. I picked up trash outside sometimes in the parking lot. Basically, I pour the water bowls out, and I fill up the water bowl, fill it up, then I put it back in there sometimes. Do that, get dogs water. All the co-workers are nice back here. They're all nice. Well, people need to give dogs a chance, because you give dogs a chance, the dog will be your best friend. And dogs won't be so mean if you don't go hitting on them, but if you be nice to a dog, they'll be nice back to you. Got a black and white dog, puppy here, and I bonded with it, and it got adopted out, so I miss that dog. It's a cool dog. My dad, he shows me how to do stuff. It's like I'm outside mowing the grass. I didn't know how to mow the grass, so my dad showed me how to mow the grass. It feels good to help my dad pay the bills in the house. So it feels good to have a job to help my dad with the bills. You can get a job, just do a good job. When your boss tells you to do something, you just go out and do it and prove to your boss that you can do it. I like to work here for a long time.
Fairfield Federal, in cooperation with Interface Video, presents the Lancaster Festival, live from downtown Lancaster. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan makes it easy to take control of your personal finances and build your wealth. You can access your accounts 24/7 with online banking, bill paying, and debit MasterCard. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, checking, savings, and home loans, online and on the go. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Also brought to you by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, Walker Shoe Center, Buckeye Lake Marina, South Central Power, the Fairfield County Historical Parks, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, Fleet Masters, Dagger Johnston, Miller Ogilvy and Hampson, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Ohio Christian University, the Frame Shop, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, and welcome to Lancaster Festival Live. I'm Paul Jasson, your host. Thank you for joining us, and what a difference a couple of days makes. For a while it was nonstop rain. Yesterday when we did our first show down here, a beautiful day, sunny and pleasant out. Today a little overcast, a little bit cool, but still super day. We'll be having a scene in a little bit from the Lancaster Percussion that's performing behind us at the bandstand. So always an exciting day when the Lancaster Percussion is here. They're here today instead of tomorrow because they're going to be out with Tusk at the Wednesday night edition of things out at Ohio University Lancaster. So anyway, we're glad you're with us. We hope you've had many events you've been taken in. You've got several events to go this week. Lots of things we'll be talking about, places to go, people to see at the Lancaster Festival. And I'll tell you, one of the events to see, if you think T-birds or poodle skirts or pink ladies, what you think of is Grease. And around here this time, if we think of Grease, we think of Victor Jones. Victor, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Man. I mean, you just set the place up. 2 o'clock on Sunday, packed house.
It was absolutely amazing. It was a packed house. We've never sold out an opening day show at Ohio University Lancaster Theater, so it was extremely exciting. Wow, so many people, and the show was well received.
Talking with Victor Jones, of course, head of all the theatrics and drama and everything out at Ohio University Lancaster. So they had the special, it coincides with the opening of the festival. Sunday they had 2 shows, no major glitches. I guess you never know the first couple times because there's a lot going on with Grease, a lot of moving parts, big cast, everything went well.
Everything went well. There are a lot of moving parts. We have all that new technical stuff, the lighting board, the sound board, all the wireless Halo mics, a spectacular lighting show besides all the special effects. You have the live orchestra, and all those things have to seamlessly come together for a magnificent production, and boy, was it special.
And I would imagine, I haven't seen it yet, I'll wait till after things calm down after the festival, but I would imagine the costumes are just out of sight.
Our costume designer was a student. She took it as a course this summer. Her name was Brooke Hamlin, and she did a magnificent job. The costumes jump off the stage at you. The colors are gorgeous, true to the 1950s, and just really a beautiful production to see visually.
How many cast members does it take to put Grease on? Because I think about Olivia and John, and really that's about the only two I remember. But there's a lot of players in this.
Oh, there are a lot of. You can't forget Kanicki and Rizzo and Frenchie and Sonny and Duty and Marty. It's a quite a large cast. 30 cast members in total, including the ensemble members, 8 production staff members, and 7 orchestra members. So it's a big cast.
So Sunday you open, 2 o'clock, packed house.
Packed house, sold out. 500 guests in Wagner Theater. Little steamy in there because it had just recently rained. A gorgeous dessert bar. It was spectacular.
And 8 o'clock is the second one. A good crowd there for that. Now you're taking a break throughout the rest of the festival as far as Grease is concerned.
Grease takes a little bit of a break. For the next 10 days, we have some brush-up rehearsals, though, Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, and then we reopen August 3rd and have 5 more additional shows, and tickets are selling really fast for that.
Now, I didn't clear this with you before, but I think you will know this. Can you give us the information on how tickets can be obtained?
Oh, sure. Our box office is open daily, including today, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's right in the north lobby. Entrance to the theater right in the north lobby of Ohio University Lancaster Theater. You can also buy the tickets by calling 740-681-3353. That's our box office staff. You can also buy them online. Go to the website, ohio.edu Lancaster. You scroll down on the left-hand side, there's a theater icon. It's big. Click on that, buy tickets.
That's the way to go. Now, all the emphasis this week, up to this point, has been on Grease, but you've got your thinking cap on way ahead. There's lots going on, and now summer's winding down. We're heading into the fall. Already a lot of thought going into what will follow this.
Oh, our season's already planned. A great farce comedy kicks off the fall season called Moon Over Buffalo, a comedy that takes place in Buffalo. It's a farce that Ken Ludwig wrote. He also is famous for a comedy called Lend Me a Tenor, followed by A Christmas Carol, and then the hit musical in the spring called Next to Normal, and we hope to announce the Lancaster Festival show for next summer very soon.
Really? So for the next play after, is that Over Buffalo?
Moon Over Buffalo.
Okay. When will auditions be held for that?
The first week of school, the second day of school actually, August 29th at 3 o'clock for university students.
All right. I can't imagine how much planning it takes for you to get all that organized, because here you're really dealing with Grease every day, all day. You got Grease going on, and now all of a sudden you shift gears, and it's the rest of the summer, it's fall, it's up to Christmas.
You're exactly right. As soon as we got the show up and running immediately on Monday and Tuesday, planning already the academic calendar, courses, all that sort of stuff, and ready for the next 4 shows.
About the cast, I would imagine that Grease would have to be one of your favorite shows. I would think you've probably waited a while to get it till you thought you could get it done right and do it the way Victor Jones wants it done. So are you pleased with how it's come off after 2 shows?
I'm thrilled about it. My history with Grease started with Lorna Luff many years ago, which is Judy Garland's daughter, Liza Minnelli's sister. And she also appeared at the Lancaster Festival. I was also, Barry Williams was in that show from the Brady Bunch, and Gary Sandy from WKRP in Cincinnati. I was an intern at Kenley Players. That was my first experience of live.
What a group that was.
Of live theater doing Grease, and so I knew it had to be special at the right time. Boy, do we have a tremendous cast from theater majors from all over Central Ohio, Lancaster, Ohio University students, area high school students are in it, because our summer production is a community theater production. So it's really a joint effort and collaboration with a lot of different people.
Talk a little bit about the theater out there. It's been revamped. Maybe someone hasn't attended. Now, if they've gone to some of the singing events, I know there's concerts and everything that go on, but it is spectacular now, the things that you can do, lighting, sound, everything.
It is amazing how far technology has enhanced the theatrical experience. We have projectors, we have the halo mics which are worn here, we have all new acoustical panels, a whole new look to Wagner Theater with the acoustical panels, the new beautiful red grand drape which was donated by our theater students, new carpeting, the entrance, the plaques on the wall. There is a whole freshness to the look of the Wagner Theater.
Now, I want you to get a little enthusiasm. You can't be so down all the time like you are. You got to get jazzed up a little bit.
Oh my gosh. None of this would be possible without the generous donations of the community members and the theater patrons who help make that renovation possible to Wagner Theater, because it truly is rewarding. It's hard to believe. And I talk about this with the cast. When I started there, I guess it's 8 years ago, none of these high-tech things were there. So through ticket sales and donations, the theater program keeps growing and growing, and it enables us to grow with technology at the same time.
King of Ohio University Lancaster Drama, Victor Jones. Grease coming up after the festival. Give us another plug on where tickets can be obtained.
Sure, it's August 3rd through the 6th, evenings at 7 p.m., 2 matinees, August 5th and 6th at 2 p.m. You can buy tickets in the lobby right in as soon as you walk in Ohio University Theater. Right there in the lobby, open Monday through Wednesday, noon to 4 p.m. Phone number 740-681-3353. Go to our website, ohio.edu/Lancaster. Click on the theater icon. Buy tickets.
Very good. Now pull your shirt on and let us see the grease thing right there.
There it is.
There it is, grease right there. Very good. Excellent. Good luck.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Victor Jones, Ohio University Lancaster. Yesterday out at Cheer Chalet, the Veronica String Quartet was on, and they had a packed performance just like out at OUL for Grease. Let's listen to a piece from their performance, the Veronica String Quartet. Yesterday out at Shears Chalet, the Veronica String Quartet, if you've ever had a chance to hear them, they are just wonderful. I've had occasion of, over several years, they were up at First Church for some of the concerts up there. They do such a great job. Big crowd out here yesterday to hear them. So we continue Lancaster Festival Live. Pleasure to have with us Captain Greg C. Schultz, the Lancaster Police Department. Greg, thank you for joining us, buddy.
Not a problem.
Yeah, it's an exciting time downtown. Downtown really comes alive at festival time. You walk out of your office across the street here and, man, things are jumping.
Oh, they are. It usually takes me about 10 seconds to walk home, and it takes you about 4 minutes now to get through the crowd. And then that's if you get lucky. You run into 10 or 20 people that want to ask you 1,000 questions. So I actually left my house, which is over on Mulberry Street, yesterday at noon, and I didn't get back to the police department, which is a block and a half away, until 12:30. So it's just what it is, and that's the time of year, and it's a great thing.
That's great.
So,
and usually I'm sure they're not complicated questions. People just want to know some things, and probably you're glad to talk and keep everybody happy.
Oh, yeah. It's what I tell all my guys. The Lancaster Festival and the Fairfield County Fair are family reunions for me, and class reunions. So I go work these things, and I see people that I haven't seen for 20 years, and you just spend the whole day talking to people you haven't seen, so it's great. It's great to do.
Well, with the name C. Schultz, we know you've grown up in the police department. Everybody good?
Everybody's good.
Yeah, good. It's a busy time. We talked about the Lancaster Festival, 10 days or so of lots going on, streets blocked off. There are, I'm sure, increased security issues around with things around with Ohio University and things downtown for the Art Walk. So I imagine a lot of planning. You probably meet with folks well ahead of festival time to really plan this all out.
Oh yeah, I'll start right after the first of the year. As soon as I can get a copy of the festival's program for the year, I'm already putting together a security program for the entire festival for this, 2 weeks of the festival. So, and then we have probably 3 or 4 security meetings with the festival themselves, the sheriff's office, the fire department. It takes a group effort to put this whole thing together and make sure that we can attend it safely and get through the process without too much complication. But there's always something that throws a little wrench in the works, as we saw Saturday night. But those things happen. Somebody has to make the hard decision. What's the safest thing for everybody, for the viewing public, and they make the right decision. They get everybody informed as quickly as possible, and everybody stays safe, and then hopefully we'll have a bigger turnout this coming Saturday.
And I'm sure, like you say, Ken and the board, whoever makes that call, it's very difficult to cancel a concert. I mean, to actually cancel one is, I don't think, ever happened. We've had them, tornadoes and things like that move in, so that's going to be very difficult. So then all of a sudden, plan B for you guys and the sheriff's department, and then you just react to whatever it is, right?
That's exactly what you have to do. I mean, you've got to have something, some thought process, some planning put into place. If it would happen. I mean, as we experienced a few years ago, we had a tornado out on the site. We've had severe weather out on the site. And as you said, we've moved people over to Ohio University and put them in a safe location. But this time it was just so bad. I mean, we've never had that amount of water standing in that location, and it would just put everybody at risk. And it's not worth it. In the end, you're going to have, 200 or 300 accidents on those hillsides. You're going to have elderly people, falling and just a multitude of problems that you wouldn't even have the possibility to contend with. So you do the best thing in everybody's interest and you shut it down beforehand.
Were you out there Saturday night when all this was going on?
I was not. Unfortunately, as I told you before, I'm on a little bit of injury leave going on right now. But Captain. No, I haven't. I didn't even see the site. But Captain Tolley was out there, and he said it was a horrible mess, and said they absolutely made the right call for to preserve everybody's well-being, not to take them out there and put them in that location at that time. So. And
I think in social media, for good or for bad, social media is what it is. But as soon as they made the call, of course, it turned beautiful. It was a fabulous Saturday night. And so then the people on social media troll and all the comments, but I saw some pictures. Bob Competti is out there with Interface. It was all where you walk was completely underwater. I can't imagine parking on that hillside back there. Mud, I mean, it just been a nightmare.
No opportunity. There was no opportunity Saturday. And it was a beautiful day, but we're not having the concert in the air. We're having the concert on the ground. And the ground was horrible. The ground would have caused all kinds of problems. People would have gotten hurt. Vehicles would have been damaged for sure, and they made the right call. They made the hard call. I understand that's an extremely hard call for them, but they made the right call. They did what they had to do, and they took care of the people that would have attended and really would have had a horrible time, a horrible experience, not because of the concert, but because of everything they would have had to contend with to enjoy the concert.
I'm remiss if I wouldn't mention Chief Pilar. We had a recent transition. Chief McDaniel retired. We moved to now Chief Pilar. Everything probably a seamless transition with Adam still there and just moved into that new position. So probably for a lot of people, they wouldn't even notice that there was a change.
Well, now this is my opportunity. He was my FTO when I came on.
Lay it on him.
So, I probably owe him a little bit of comeback. And, no, it's been awesome. He's been my friend for 24 years, so I couldn't say a curse word about him. Yeah. And I think anybody you would ask would tell you that the transition has been transparent. I mean, there's really been nothing that anything that we haven't already been doing. We're enhancing the programs we're already involved in. And he's just a good guy. I mean, he's really out for the community. He's out for the guys that work for him, and he takes care of people. So it's a smoothless transition, and Don McDaniel was about the same form and fashion. So, we've had 3 or 4 chiefs now where it's just
Coach Bailey. I mean, it goes all the way.
Just keep going. Yep. Yeah. Just pick up the torch and carry it on.
Now, just a final question. When you have your meeting and you talk about security, do you kind of look at what's going on, say the past year, something new popped up, you make plans there, always a little tweaking going on?
Always a little tweaking. What did we find that worked last year? What can we do better that we didn't do as good last year? Every time we have this, somebody always brings something else to the table. And it may not be police, it may not be fire, it may not be festival, it might be parking. We find a different issue that we could do a little bit better, make it a little bit smoother, and we take that and we run with it.
Captain Greg C. Schultz, a little light duty here with some action going on, so healthy recovery there. You look like you're just about ready to go, so enjoy what's left of the festival, and as we move through the year, good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Captain Greg C. Schultz with the Lancaster Police Department. We're Lancaster Festival Live downtown on a very comfortable day out here downtown across from the square where the percussion department is playing. We'll be back on Lancaster Festival Live in just a moment.
At Dagger Law, we have more than 110 years of combined expertise in nearly every part of law.
What I think sets us apart from any other law firm is our ability to work together.
With us, you're getting a trusted partner, in addition to a team who can help you with a growing business, changing family, planning your future, or dealing with land issues.
It's a challenge every day, and you meet an awful lot of nice people.
Your case matters. We'll take the time and the energy to ensure that you have a quality experience, quality representation.
Whatever you need, we have a lawyer who can help. Dagger Law. Local, trusted, experienced.
The Frame Shop in Lancaster has been family-owned and operated since 1975, offering a lifetime guarantee on materials and workmanship. All framing is done in our workshop with the utmost attention to detail. You'll have a one-of-a-kind product custom made just for you. We can frame many types of items. We also offer frame and photo restoration and repair along with ready-made frames. The Frame Shop, where your business and loyalty are very important to us.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to RN to BSN, substance abuse counseling, and more. 855-OCU-GRAD or on the web, enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster or 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Lancaster Festival Live. Paul Jasson with you, and it's all things festival downtown. We'll be hearing the percussion in a little bit. We'll look forward to always a great number from them. Big crowd, and again, it's a beautiful day, a little overcast, but a fabulous day to be outside. As of last Saturday, we would have begged for a day like this. Again, in a couple of days, you don't know. We've got the big Rising Park Day coming up. We're going to talk to Steve Conrad, Lancaster Park Departments. And then your title is Mike Tharp's daddy.
That works for me.
Yeah. I'm not sure it works for Tharp.
No, my title is actually the Supervisor of Recreational Services.
Mike Tharp's daddy. Thank you, Steve. We've got Rising Park Day Thursday. Let's just go as if it's going to be a beautiful day. We're pulling for that. That's always a fun day out at Rising.
Well, it is, and the whole thing, Paul, is tailored to kids. It's activities, and the thing I love about it, you see a lot of parents and grandparents bringing their young kids out, and between us and the festival committee, I think we're going to have a great day. You know, in the background, we're listening to the Lancaster Percussion Ensemble. Well, we're going to have the Winchester Steel Band.
That's right, it's Thursday.
So you're going to feel like you're in Jamaica, man. You know,
that's good. They're very good.
Oh, they're talented. They're a wonderful group of students, and so that'll be going on. One of the things, we're going to have Tai Chi going on. We'll have some yoga from the YMCA, and then we're going to have demonstrations by the Hocking Valley Gymnasts. And if you haven't seen those kids from that school, they are fantastic.
Are they the ones over on Slocum? Is that?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, they're fantastic. They're talented. Their instructors are just do a great job, and I think if the weather's permitting, they try to encourage other kids to come in and participate and do a little tumbling. So there's something for everybody. We're having the amazing giant stilt walkers, and that's always fun seeing those guys walk around on I get a nosebleed watching them, you know.
That's always plan A. So in the event, I know Saturday night, of course, they had to make a big transition there very quickly. Again, talking with Captain C. Schultz from the police department, tough calls were made. They had to cancel that, so you had to go to plan B. Any thoughts on what might occur? Because as of today, and certainly things change, but as of today, a chance of rain Thursday.
Well, it's really tough on an outdoor event like this to have a plan B. You got people coming from out of town to get them rescheduled. Pretty much it's a rain or shine. You know, it happens or it doesn't happen. So I like your attitude. We're going to go as it's not going to rain.
That's it. And we can talk about some other things because there's very little that goes on in the city of Lancaster that the parks are not involved with. So I've been down a few times on Friday night, had a couple of rainouts here too, but I did want to say, and I've told Judy Ruth this, who Fairfield Federal is a big sponsor of this for many, many years. The talent this year has just been amazing from top to bottom. Every week has been great.
I have so much fun. I was just talking with Mike Tharp about this. You know, my son, Mike Tharp. Okay. I was talking about him today about how this is probably my favorite program because I have a music background and just being able to meet with and interview on our radio show with all the musicians. But you're right, the talent has been phenomenal. Of course, we start off with Interface Video's own Bob Capetti and Bad Influence. And
it goes down from there.
Well, you know what? It's tough to beat them. And I think they get better year in and year out. They're a tremendous draw here in town. And I had a lot of fun. The last time we had with the British invasion, there was probably 1,000 people out there setting. And as soon as they were done, all of a sudden I hear Bad Influence playing down at the Ale House. So yeah, there's a lot of good talent in town, and I think I have to thank Class Acts Entertainment, who does bookings for a lot of our groups. We had the group Satisfaction, which was a phenomenal Rolling Stones tribute band. They were very professional. Our first one was Brass Tracks, which was dear to my heart because they had the horn bands with like Blood, Sweat, and Tears and those kind of things. So. Oh, I do. And you know, we're going to finish up on August the 11th, I think it is.
We have 1 or 2 more weeks.
We have 2 weeks. We've got Slaw Dog, which is Mike O'Reilly's Christian rock group, and they're very good. And then the week after that is going to be Conspiracy, and they have a phenomenal horn line. They've got a great group of singers. They've been here several times, and just a great genre of music they play. They're phenomenal, and they're just good entertainers. And that'll be the last actual Friday Night Bandstand that I'm in charge of. I will say we have rescheduled the Mule Skinners, which was one of the... That was the first rain out, and they are going to actually play on the 18th out at Olivedale. We decided, why take a chance of more rain and blocking the streets off? They're going to play the same time, 7 to 8:30 at Olivedale. It'll open a little bit early. If people will open the kitchen, you know, sell some snacks and all that good stuff. But yeah, you know, once the festival's over, the music doesn't stop. We still have 2, I think, great weeks of entertainment, and I think it's a great way to kind of finish up the summer before school starts.
So we've got Frontier Spirit coming up. We've got the Maple Tapping Festival. Things really don't slow down.
Well, they really don't. And one of the things that we used to do at Alley Park, and I believe it's August the 18th, 19th, and 20th, is the Antique Tractor Show. Well, this year they're having the big state show, so it's too big for Alley Park. They're going to have it out at Rising Park, but we are still going to do the pancake breakfast on the 19th, I believe it is, at 8 to 11 o'clock out at the dining room or whatever it is out at the fairgrounds. And that'll be interesting to try to figure out how we're going to make all that work. Trina Thornton and I will be heading out Monday to talk to Tim Vorst to kind of look the area over and start really planning, but we're still going to be involved. And you're right, we've got Frontier Spirit coming up, and that's where I first met Mike Tharp years ago. He was part of that organization. And then we have the Pumpkin Hike, which is a huge one. And then, of course, we always finish up the year with everybody's favorite Santa in the Park and turn Alley Park into a beautiful winter wonderland. And I can't think of a better way to kind of finish my career than to finish up on those kind of programs.
I was talking with Steve Conrad, the Lancaster Parks Department, and I would mention that in the result, like you say, the truck and tractor pool got so big, it became not as good for them, and probably for the parks too, to do it at Alley. They moved to the fairgrounds. So here we see the fairgrounds, the festival, the parks, everybody works well together. Nobody tries to run it all.
Well, you know, I think Lancaster Festival is a great example of community getting together to provide entertainment for the citizens. We can't do we talked about Friday Night Bandstand, and there's no way, Paul, without Judy Root and Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan for the 35 years supporting that program, there's no way we could do that. And the many other things. I mean, we've had the Kiwanis, the Rotary Club, and different organizations help with a lot of different projects. And so I think Lancaster is a good example of what a great community truly is. You know, we hear people complaining about a lot of things. This is a great community to live in.
Judy Root told me that was her last community band concert she'll direct, was when they had their patriotic concert around July 4th. And we'd be remiss in our closing moment here to say you are wrapping it up after many years with the Lancaster Parks Department. How many years, and when does this become official?
Well, I will retire next May. It'll be the official date. I'll be off all April with vacation, but that'll be 26 years for me. I hate to say this, I'll be 64 years old. That doesn't seem possible because I still feel like a kid, but it's been a great 64 years of living. It's been a great 26 years of working at Lancaster Parks and Recreation, and sometimes I can't believe I get paid for having fun.
You look 64.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. You look your age. I'm not saying you look old. You just look your age.
How old are you now?
Well, I've always had a fun time with Steve. He's always been so great working with us, and Mike Tharp and everybody, Bo Gear. The Lancaster Parks have been such an integral part of this community. I know it's been fun every day to come to work and always challenging with the rainouts, and that's something you're not unaccustomed to with rainouts, but every day you've made it work. So congratulations.
Well, thanks so much. And once again, I appreciate all of you guys and radio stations for helping support us and publicize what we do. And once again, it's all of the community working together to serve its citizens.
Well, we're pulling for you on Thursday. Good luck with the weather. It's always great at Rising Park. We hope for good luck with that. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks so much, Paul. I always enjoy being around.
Steve Conrad, Lancaster Parks Department. Last night at the KSC, an event that I was very pumped up about. It's the Dixieland music by the High Street Stompers. Let's hear a little of that. One of the great groups of Village Stompers and putting on the Ritz. Tom Battenberg and those guys do such a great job. They are a fun group to hear. As Steve Conrad had indicated to me, they've been down here in the bandstand before, so we've enjoyed hearing them over the years. If you get a chance, I would put them on. They do such a great job. One of the folks that makes this possible each and every year is Fairhope Hospital. We've got a couple young men here with us from Fairhope Hospital. Oh no, we don't have young men. We have Rick and Mark with us today. So Rick Snyder and Mark Lynn. Rick is the community educator, and Mark Lynn is recently entitled chaplain. Would that be correct?
About a year ago, a year, August 22nd.
Very good. Everybody knows Reverend Mark Lynn. He'll do such a great job. A chaplain, big role out there at Fairhope Hospice. And Rick, things continue to move and evolve and change, and from what I can see, all for the better for Fairhope Hospice.
Yeah, we've had steady growth. It's never been a big spurt or a big drop. It's just been steady on, and getting bigger. People learn what we do, and a lot of our business comes from repeat business. Once somebody's experienced the compassion and the serenity of Fairhope Hospice and somebody else in their family becomes ill or a friend of theirs, they said, you have to do it. And really, someone who else has been there, they understand much more than I can tell you anything you want to hear.
And I can honestly say, and I've had my share of contact over the years with Pickering House, Fairhope Hospice, and I can honestly say I don't believe I've ever heard anyone say a discouraging word about the entire facility. The ability that you do and go through to just give clients of yours out there, families, what they need, whether it's respite care, whether it's a pizza, whether it's a puppy in the room, whatever it is, there's almost nothing your folks won't do to make this happen.
We had a person that had an older pet, and when she came into the Pickering House, we brought in a geriatric bed for the dog to lay next to its owner. And one time a house cleaner had noticed that the visitor was kind of shaking when she was visiting her mom, and the housekeeper on her own went into the linen closet, got a blanket, put it in the dryer, heated up for 10 minutes, came out and wrapped the visitor. And it was in the summer, but the air conditioning was up high. And she said, I never believed somebody would do that without being asked. She just saw a need and she did it, and that's what makes us so well. People don't understand how much we are alert to exactly what's going on.
Rick Snyder, community educator with Fairhope Hospice, and Mark Lynn, a year or less, a new chaplain out there. There are several, and again, I've had some contact with the chaplains, and in your time out there, it's been all good, I'm sure, because again, as Rick indicated, Fairhope Hospice does such a wonderful job. So to be a chaplain out there would have to be very rewarding to see how they work with families.
Oh, it is, and you guys both have done a great job to me already, to kind of describing, I think, the heart of Fairhope Hospice, just from one side, one end to the other, just trying to meet their needs, and at the end of a very difficult time, at the end of someone's life with family around, trying to make a really difficult situation the best it can possibly be, and certainly the spiritual side of things is a very important part. It never gets more real than at the end of someone's life, and we are all about meeting their needs, making sure they have peace, no matter what that looks like. That's really what we're about, and being mindful of that and trying to accomplish that with each person.
Mark Lynn is a chaplain out there, and I would say that you've, in this year, had a chance to use just about all your pastoring skills out there. It's a great place where people at that moment really need what you have to offer.
Yeah, it really is true, and getting to go home at the end of every day feeling like in some small way you've been able to make at least one person's situation at least a little more tolerable, as difficult as it is, and it does run the gamut all the way from folks who have walked with the Lord most all their lives to people who really don't feel like they need you, and we don't take that personally. It really, the focus is on them and making sure they're okay, and if they say they're okay and they don't need us, that's the most important thing. We don't try to talk anybody into anything. Sure. Yeah.
Rick, we watch Denise Bauer out there, and you continue to grow as an organization out there. Add Mark Lynn as a chaplain, Kermit Welty. Some of the folks I know out there do such a great job. But as you indicated, from the housekeeper all the way to Denise, whatever the job is to be done, that's what you do.
Well, you know, Mark brought up a good point in that we listen to the patient. If they don't want a chaplain, they don't get a chaplain. We've had people that didn't want pain medicine. One guy liked to ride a motorcycle. He didn't want pain medicine because then he was restricted. We didn't give him pain medicine. When we take care of people in their home, we put the bed where they want. Most of the time it's not in the bedroom. Many times it's in front of the bay window in front. I had a guy with, in the garage. That's where he had all his tools and everything. He wanted to hang out in the garage, so we put his bed down there. So, what Mark had said about if you don't need us, we're not there. I mean, the family's in charge, and I think they like that because up to that point, they've gone to doctors, they've gone to pick up their prescription, they have to go here, they have to go there, they can't eat this, don't do that, can't you read the sign? When you call us, it all stops. What do you want to do? That's all it is. It's that simple.
Tell us about that brand new building that's haven't been open that long out there. Tell us who that's named after and what goes on there.
Thank you very much. Denise would have killed me if I didn't mention it, so I'll give you $1 when we're off the air. But it's the Anita M. Turner grief center, and many people who have been through our service, they need the grief services, but they cannot come back into the Pickering House if their loved one had died there. Many times people never see the Pickering House, but when they do have that situation, they can't come back. So we saw a need for a grief center. There's room for counseling. There's a larger room for meeting rooms. We can have 50, 100 people, I think, in the big room. But we had that need, and the Turner family had been through our services, and they wanted to say thank you somehow because they, like everybody else, had no idea the depth of what we do.
Well, you see the Pickering House, the Anita Turner Place. You can tell people have been very pleased with what went on.
It is, and we're very careful. Like the Turner Center is a little bit down the hill. We could have kept it up, but we want to make sure we maintain that out in the woods atmosphere. We're not on a busy street and don't have a big parking lot out front. We are just here to comfort people, and by putting the Turner Center a little bit down the hill, it keeps everything separate, and we still have plenty of room for the deer, and there's a lot of deer.
Mark, you're the new chaplain. The classes you took as a pastor today prepare you for what you see, because I know you deal with a lot of grief, a lot of things that you see some as a pastor, but not everything. I'm sure it's a different level of pastoring you have to do here.
Absolutely true, and it really is kind of an art kind of thing, because each human being, we're so unique. That's one of the things I've always marveled about this world, is how unique each human being is. So every story is different, every situation you walk into is different, and certainly you pray that you're able to speak to them in a way that lifts them up, that makes things a little more tolerable for them.
Well, I think you're the right guy for being a chaplain out there. You're a wonderful person they've added out there. Best of luck as you consider continue your chaplaincy at the Pickering House and Fairhope Hospice. Good luck.
It's very kind of you, Paul, and I have to tell you, you're very good at what you do, too.
I'll have to give the dollar he's going to give to me, I'll have to give to you. I mean, this never ends. Rick, thanks for everything. Again, Fairhope Hospice, give Denise Bauer our best. Everything out there, you guys do a wonderful job. One of the great places in town for when that need arises, you get it done.
Well, I will, and Denise is with family right now, so patients, so she couldn't be here, and that's what she does.
We had Rick Snyder and Mark Lynn with us from Fairhope Hospice, and again, wonderful folks that do a great job here in town. Let's take a little moment away from Lancaster Festival Live to go across the street to hear our Lancaster Percussion Ensemble with Bruce Gerken and Come Sail Away.
Lancaster Festival Live is brought to you by South Central Power, providing affordable, reliable, and safe electric since 1936. It's Ohio's largest electric cooperative, serving over 15,000 members in 24 counties. South Central Power, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. By Walker Shoe Center. Support comes from Walker Shoe Center at 737 East Main Street in Lancaster. A sit-down, get your feet measured shoe store. Visit us on Facebook today. By the Fairfield County Historical Parks. They've been providing and preserving unique cultural and historical treasures since 1981. Come on out, explore our natural world. Experience your heritage. Visit us at historicalparks.org. And by Fleet Masters. For over 20 years, Fleet Masters has provided medium and heavy-duty truck repairs for our customers throughout central and southeastern Ohio. They're locally owned and operated when their 10,000 square foot facility located at 202 Quarry Road in Lancaster.
So we wrap up Lancaster Festival Live today, and that's the end of our show today, but things really continue for the Lancaster Festival tonight. There are many activities going on that you can take in and enjoy on this Tuesday evening. Lots of good stuff to see. And Aaron will let us know what that is anytime now. There we go. 1 o'clock today, the Festival String Quartet will be at Olivedale. 1:30 matinee at the mall, Bob Ford and Musical Tales. 2 o'clock, Mike Helmgarn was a ventriloquist. He'll be doing that. And at 8 o'clock tonight up at First United Methodist Church, the Chamber Music Classics Crescendo. So lots of things on this Tuesday to see. Remember, you can watch all of these programs live and on replay right here on Spectrum TV, Cable Channel 9, and on demand anytime by visiting Interphase Video Facebook page or click on any of the broadcasts. So for all the folks at Interphase Video, thanks for joining us on Lancaster Festival Live. I'm Paul Jasson, your host. Thanks for being here today, and we'll see you here live tomorrow at noon. Thanks.
Fairfield Federal, in cooperation with Interphase Video, presents the Lancaster Festival, live from downtown Lancaster. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan makes it easy to take control of your personal finances and build your wealth. You can access your accounts 24/7 with online banking, bill paying, and debit MasterCard. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, checking, savings, and home loans, online and on the go. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Also brought to you by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, Walker Shoe Center, Buckeye Lake Marina, South Central Power, the Fairfield County Historical Parks, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, Fleet Masters, Dagger Johnston, Miller Ogilvy and Hampson, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Ohio Christian University, the Frame Shop, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.